Yo, apologize everybody, it's taking just a little bit longer just as far as to get things going on. Yeah, we got a lot of things that are updated, changed. We did get some new devices to be able to do the things we like to do here in Car Mechanic. One of which is being able to, yeah, so a little bit of mouse sensitivity. We get a new mouse, that's one thing. We also did figure out something I wasn't aware of, I guess as far as still now, is we can use Legacy, I guess as far as which allows you to use both keyboard, mouse, and a controller. The one thing I have not figured out is how to remap buttons on the controller. So that's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, I guess, as far as for myself. So going to be a lot of stuff, I guess, as far as going on that way. So just bear with me, and we'll try to do the best we can here. Still trying to adjust, I guess, as far as to some of the new things we have to work with here, I guess, as far as especially for the drag racing part of it. Having all the issues, I guess, as far as with the red lights, the throttle and the brake and all that jazz, I guess, as far as on the keyboard, that was not working good. I have done some test polls, I guess, as far as with the Mazda RX-3, that are special. I may go ahead and just go in this right away just to kind of test this again. I'm coming to find there are potentially, I guess, as far as some things we can change on the Steam controller setup side of things. So right now I'm using keyboard and mouse for this part, which is great. I did not want to have to resort to just using controller, I guess, as far as especially just working on the cars and whatnot. Let's give this a shot over at the drag strip. Here we go. So we're gonna go to 1-1. This is all keyboard and mouse. That's beautiful. Quarter mile. Yeah, why not? We're just doing this for some test runs, just to kind of get a feel for this.
Hit the pace car! Hit the pace car!
We're gonna try not to.
What for?
Yeah, we're gonna try not to, Brent. I don't think we got a pace car on the drag strip anyways. I think we're good. I think if anything, it's gonna be the wall. Okay, so okay, it did work. I kind of figured I'd lose, at least for the first roll. I didn't rev it, which I wanted to. Okay, alright. So what I don't like, this is what I would love to be able to change the button mapping for it. I have to let off the throttle, I guess, as far as shift. That's on the same, it's the button above the trigger for that. I don't like that. I want to be able to just hold the throttle and be able to shift with a different button. So I wonder if I can change that. Yeah, I appreciate anybody's patience for as I figure this. Alright, try this again. Okay, I'm just still, this is just a process of getting used to it, so. That still seems to be a problem. That's all using controller right there. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. Try it again. Oh, there we go. Oh, now we got something, we got it. Oh yeah, this is gonna be cool. Oh, we do have 5 gears. Yeah, I think this is going to work nice. A little bit of a learning curve, so yeah, I'm using the left mouse button, which is above the left trigger. That's pretty cool. Good to know that's working. Appreciate testing out all the redeems there, Brent, because, yeah, like I said, we did have to adjust a lot of things. Yeah, we did beat the Jeep. Okay, so, okay, here we go. Handbrake, rev it. Oh, yeah, this is going to work. Awesome. Oop. So we can't steer with the joystick. That's cool. Yeah, I'm going to like this. So as far as the dragging, I guess as far as we can use the controller. Okay, so I think this is going to work out awesome using the controller. Okay, so this is not a resto mod, but that is a high moy. Hot rod, let's see if we can beat this dude. Really want some input on what everybody's doing, as far as anybody going to be around, I guess, as far as for potentially doing a longer stream, I guess, as far as on that holiday weekend. We did beat him. Nice. Look at that reaction time. Yeah, this is awesome, using this controller. It's less strain too, I guess, as far as on the fingers, because I was always finding the way I was doing it, it was like I had to hyper stretch or hyper extend, I guess, as far as yeah, it wasn't comfortable. This is much more comfortable on the controller. So we can do that. So yeah, it's a combination of using the mouse and the controller, which is pretty cool. So we got this. Let's try another one. Yeah, that's some of the things that I've been thinking about. Yeah, I did kind of sleep there a little bit, but I think this is going to work. Just kind of reiterating this as far as how well this RX-3 does with this special motor config in it too. We got our twin turbo, I guess, as far as from the RX-7 in here. That's very well tweaked, I guess, as far as we only have 12% performance on this thing too. So we're, you know, semi on the higher side, I guess, as far as the Class C. I didn't stutter. Just testing some things out, I guess, as far as with using a controller for the racing side of things on Car Mechanic Sim. Scared the crap out of me, Brent. I guess that's the whole point, though, right? Nice. All right, let's try that again, shall we? Okay, so I'm assuming part of it was my my problem, I guess, as far as we getting the red lights. Yep. So this is where it comes into play, where I know part of it was my operator error, I guess, as far as when it comes to that. I'm just a little too quick, I guess, as far as anticipating the tree. So this is all on controller as I'm driving this. So this is actually giving me some feedback. But quite frankly, I think this is going to work a lot better. It's going to be easier on the less fatigue on the fingers as far as using the keyboard. Nice. So we did sleep there a little bit, but it'll take some getting used to for sure. We're having some fun with this though. This is working out great. I like that you can steer with the joystick. Not that we really need to, because it's just a straight line, but I'm gonna have to try this on the test track to see how that's gonna work. That's probably another thing I want to test. We'll take our Mazda RX-7 over to the test track and see how that works. The straight line's fine. We don't have to steer too much, but test track we will. So let's go back to the garage here real quick. So what we're gonna do is take this over to test track here. I want to try the steering on this controller. Holy crap. I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't think I want to know. Yeah, this is gonna take some getting used to on the stick and joystick. Okay, brakes work. All right, that's cool. Yeah, it'll definitely take some getting used to. You can definitely tend to be a little bit smoother, I guess, as far as on that. I mean, she runs good, don't get me wrong, but it's like she could probably use a little bit of something, I guess, as far as taking that tester. So maybe that's what we can start with here today. Yeah, let's see. Let's take a look at the parts list here. Yeah, we can probably fix all this up, because what is our condition overall? We're all in the green, so that's not terrible. I don't remember what we left off on the body. We get it to only 87, so we should be at least 90 because we left the plates off. Okay, so what was, let me check our parts list again. Oh, these little windows. All right, let's change those out. We'll get the body at least good. Yeah, we should be able to get that at least a 90. All right, so let's get a couple of new windows for our RX-3. So we got those windows replaced. Probably just, I don't know if I want to sell those or just scrap them. So now we should have 90%. Yep. So the last 10% is going to be the two plates, which we're not going to worry about. So the other parts, even considering a lot of it's yellow, we're 86%. Not bad. But I think what we'll do is we're going to take off the parts. Some of these parts here, we're going to try and fix them up a little bit. Let's see what we can fix up here. So we got some rotors we can remachine. Yeah, we did a lot of. Yeah, we did, but definitely pressing our luck at the repair bench. Take that off next. So we're gonna try and get some new pads. We're gonna take those apart. So we need tie rod, sway bar, get some new pads. Alrighty then. So let's get these shock assemblies taken apart. But yeah, I wonder how much it does actually affect performance, even if we do have performance part on it. Because we have seen 100%, I guess, as far as when we don't get the engine, say, for example, to 100% in comparison to a lot of parts related to the engine, and put the performance parts on it, just like we've done some call orders, it does affect, I guess, as far as how much horsepower we get, which also affects performance. So kind of makes sense. All right, so we need, wow, those are in good shape. That guy, this guy, and that guy. I'm gonna keep those, stuff that's green. All right, so let's do that. So let's go tablet. We need 2 of these caps. Yeah, this Mazda RX-7 was in really good shape. So we're probably not gonna be 100% on parts because of reusing some of these, but just to kind of get an idea where we'll be at. Okay, put those back in. I think we ended up putting scuffs back on this thing here, but we did fix the rims up. We're gonna keep them that way for now. We can probably fix that steering rack up. Yeah, let's do that real quick. Sweet. All right, good deal. Let's put that back in. So now we are at 93% on parts so far. We haven't done anything on the rear end yet, though. I'm trying to remember if, yeah, I think the original, hold on, we can actually check this. So this RX-3 we got here, I think this got drums. So yeah, we did change out the rear end on our special RX-3. The original has drum rear brakes. We put discs. Yeah, it's, you do have to pay attention, I guess, as far as to, you know, when you're adjusting parts, especially when they're not exactly in the same position as the car that you're using as a reference. It's not terrible. You can always go back in there and adjust those things. I guess as far as you'd be like, oh shoot, I didn't put that in the right spot. But yeah, we'll definitely have to adjust that. I probably want to have the rear end, I guess as far as itself, in that spot, because I like the way that stance is for it. So yeah, we'll definitely just have to adjust that drive shaft. So that's all fixable. We're gonna fix that all up. Let's take that over to the bench so we can probably get our rear rotors, I guess, as far as fixed up here. Let's do that. All right, let's go get our rotors. I did do both. Okay, cool. So we just gotta get some pads. And I think that's the majority of everything. We're gonna need 2 new shocks. So that's all replaced. I think we already got, yeah, we already got a performance pump and a new tank. So I think we're all good there. Let's get the tires back on. Now, what's kind of cool in this game is they only do manual transmissions. They don't do automatics, which I find kind of interesting. I'm hoping, a lot of us are, I think, are hoping, it's as far as that once the new rendition of this game comes out, which they are working on one. It's just a matter of, I think they're forecasting 2026, but that's still yet to be seen. I'm hoping that they will introduce, I guess, as far as automatic transmissions and not just all the focus on, because I would like to see, because right now, out of the fluids that we can change on this, ATF or automatic transmission fluid is not one of them. So I would like to see that. Also, this is something that a lot of us have made a point of, the fact that out of all the fluids and the components that you can put on the car being a standard transmission manual, there's no clutch reservoir. So yeah, there's some things about this game, I guess, as far as that are a little bit, you know, not 100% detailed, but we try not to, we still have fun with what's here. So how are we on parts now? We are 94% on parts. That's awesome. So yeah, we're much higher on the condition of that. I'm feeling better about that. So yeah, we got our special rendition here, I guess, as far as our RX-3 with the twin turbo. That's the same as the RX-7, which we have that out here. This is our RX-7. That's standard. I don't think we did put any performance parts onto this one. Oh, we did. All right, never mind. I take that back. We got a few more performance parts on this one than we do the RX-3 at this point. But yeah, this same engine that's in the RX-7, we ended up creating a config for our RX-3, and this thing's pretty cool to drive. So we've got this dyno to 300 horsepower, 265 on the base. Like I said, we don't have a lot of tuning to it, but just a little. And then the standard, just to compare here, about half as much. So much more modern engine than we would put in our custom RX-3. We even gave it a better stance. Hence the reason why we probably got that little bit of offset, I guess, as far as in the drive shaft. We kind of kicked it up, I guess, as far on the rear end, just kind of give it a more aggressive stance. I want to keep that stance, so in an effort, I guess, as far as to keep that stance, we're going to have to adjust that drive shaft. It still lets you drive it, like I said, though, so we're good there. Where are we at parts wise? I think what I'm going to do, oh, I forgot to put the forgot to bolt the leaf springs, I guess, as far as to the axle. I was like, whoopsie, my bad. So we did have the shocks on it. It would have probably helped it a little bit, I guess, as far as having that tied into the body of the car, but it probably still would have caved in a little bit, I guess, as far as if that was IRL. So let's make sure we didn't miss any parts. Let's get it back on the ground. We'll probably need some shift some things around so we can find ourselves a quick flip car. We can get ourselves back over $1 million. That's been my my cap. I don't like being this much under $1 million in the bank. Oh, I forgot we had this Vantage too. That's something else we can work on today. Maybe we'll focus on that. So let me look and see. Do I have a spot open for? I do. So we do have room right here. A lot of really cool cars we got in our that we've worked on. We got special configs of our BMW Pro car. Trying to keep it somewhat sorted, I guess, as far as so I know which ones are what. So let's go ahead and put this guy. Let's put him right there for now. So let's pull this Vantage out. We got this one from the junkyard. It's a pretty rough shape, as you can probably imagine. I think we'll work on this guy. We've raced up against this dude, I guess, as far as at the drag strip, and I think it definitely deserves, I guess, as far as some attention here. It's got a twin turbo. Sure does. Nice rear-wheel drive twin turbo V8. Look at that design. That's crazy. Yeah, this will be fun to work on. So we're gonna swap out this guy on lift day. I think it just needs a bath. Yeah, it needs a lot more than a bath. It definitely needs a bath. We're gonna give it a bath. Some of them are even worse shapes than this. I thought this was a really good shape, considering it was a junkyard car. So it does need some frame work and all that stuff. We're gonna get that all fixed up for it. Let's give her a bath. That's another reason why I grabbed this. I got it for a really good price. In fact, we're in the good even as it sits. Now, I'm not 100% sure if we'll keep it. But even as it sits right now, without even doing anything to it, we can make some money. But that's where I feel like we definitely got a good deal at the junkyard. Let's go ahead and give her a bath. Now, if we give her a bath, we'll probably gain a little bit more money. Let's see where we're at now. We are now that much in, so we made 1,000, I guess, as far as just by cleaning it. Pretty cool. All right, let's get this back over to lift day. So it looks like it's kind of red. I know the frame's in rough shape. Let's go ahead and fix the frame up. So the frame right now is probably red. So we definitely need to weld the frame. Nice. Check the color on that. That is cool. I like that. This might be a keeper. Might end up being a keeper. So let's see if we can fix some parts up here. So body panels and nothing here, just to confirm. So we need a new front bumper. Headlights, taillights. Can't fix any of that stuff up. Too bad on the price of those parts. So symbol. Oh, so we gotta put the hood on first before we put that on? Or is that the headlights first? So let's put these on. So now we should be able to get all the windows. Let's get that one. Alright, so we got... Oh, I missed the one. Did I get too many windows? I might have. This is the part of the Aston Martin DLC that we're working on right now. But I think we got all the parts. I think I just bought too many windows. Body's looking pretty good. Glass is all replaced. We're gonna get... Well, these tires I want to do... We only have one tire on this thing? We got two tires, okay. So are they staggered? That's what I want to see. We are staggered, so we're wider in the rear than in the front. But they are 20-inch rims. Okay, cool deal. Let's get this one off. Let's see, I don't know if I want to take that off quite yet. Let's deal with these tires here first. We can go and check out a barn and see if we can find a Dodge Charger Challenger RT. I'm kind of surprised at myself that I don't have one yet. So let's go check out a barn. Got 97 of them. So we got a 69. Which version is this guy? Which version? This is the Drag 69 Camaro. So this is a mod car. We're trying to get our own mod car, I guess, as far as into the game. But we do have one of these already, I guess, as far as in our garage. Let's see if we do have, per chance, I guess, as far as a Dodge Challenger RT. I think we got, what is this guy? We got an Audi R8. Pretty sure I got one of these too. These we've come to find they're not as high performance as I thought they were. What do we got over here? This one is, looks like a Mitsubishi Eclipse. Yep. So this one's just the RS. We do have the OT Special that has quite a bit of tuning to it. Your allergies are acting up the same. Yeah, it's pretty dirty in here. Yeah, apologize. So these barns they always have at least 3 cars. So we checked out all 3 cars. We don't have a Dodge Challenger RT, but there's also the ability, I guess, as far as to find a crate in here, that you can find some goodies in the crate. Oh, there she is. Nice. Alright, so got her crate, checked all the cars out. We did not find Dodge Challenger RT. We found some pretty cool cars in here, like the 69 Drag, but we're not looking in the market for one of those. We'll take our crate, we'll head back to the house, and I think we'll check out the salvage auction. We did get our crates. Wait, what happened to my crate? Did I not buy the crate? I thought we did. I'm a dummy. I think I must have left there without buying the crate. That was a boo-boo on my part. Whoops. Okay, so we did not leave the barn there as far as buying the crate. Auctions, we've been having pretty good luck there lately. Yeah, I did. I left without the parts. Yeah, so not the first time I've done that. Oh, we got one right there. Look at that. This one's a 70. This one's nice shape. Holy smokes. Look at this guy. This, so was this a 4-star? What's the starting price? 17 and the high is 44. Let's see if she starts. She does not, so it doesn't start. Let's see what the condition of the engine is. Okay, so yeah, it looks like most of the parts on this are yellow. So yeah, probably, like I said, this probably needs a little bit of oil to be able to get her started, because the game kind of frowns on the fact that if it's low on oil, it won't let you start it. So let's try an auction it. Let's try to get this, what we can get it for. Alright, we got it for 57. That's a little bit, so we're 13,000 overestimated. I'm just hoping we can get it running. Alright, we're going to take it. Alright, let's put that into our garage. So we should have that one spot open outside. So we get to get ourselves a Challenger. I know I've worked on one of these. I definitely know we've worked on one of these, but I don't think we have obviously not gotten one for... we don't have one in our parking garage. So just to kind of reiterate, just in case anybody... I need to double check myself. That really surprises me I don't have one. Alright, so cool. Hopefully this will satisfy a little bit, I guess, as far as getting similar car as it was in Fast and Furious. Now, keeping in mind the one that they had in that one, from what I do remember, he had the blown out engine, I guess, as far as you know, as far as the supercharger and all that stuff on it. So where are we at? We are in the hole by exactly almost what we overpaid. This is what I was worried about. So this is why I don't like to have to go overestimate it, because this is exactly what happens. Now, obviously, if we can get it running and fix it up, I guess, as far as we can definitely fix that. That's probably what we're gonna do. So, really nice car though. Let's see if we can fix up some body panels. Let's fix up our body panels on our Challenger. Yeah, I would need to have. So I'm going by memory as far as what that Challenger looked like in Fast and Furious, and I would not doubt at all, I guess, as far as there's probably something on the Steam Workshop that depicts, I guess, as far as that Challenger. We might have to make our own config, I guess, as far as for that. I actually may not get to that today, I guess, as far as, but that would be kind of cool, I guess, as far as to take one of these, create our own trim for it, and do it up just like the Fast and Furious. Have the full-blown engine in the front coming out of the hood. As I think of that, I guess, as far as we'd probably have to leave the hood off, because I don't think for this model, I guess, as far as we have an option for a cutout in the hood. I don't think we do. So let's go here. Let's go to the body shop here real quick for this RT. Okay, so yep, it doesn't have any tune parts for that Dodge Challenger RT. So there are no tune parts for the Challenger RT. So that would probably be the only flaw with creating our own config for that and not having a cutout hood, I guess, as far as for the supercharged engine to put in it. We could still put that type of engine into it. This one have a hood cutout. Not out of the realm of possibility for that. So we did fix up all these body panels, put that stuff on. I'm trying to remember now. Is the one in Fast and Furious, is that a Charger or is that a Challenger? I think it was a Charger. I might have the wrong car. So we might have to find ourselves a old school Charger as well. So this is the Challenger, which is a 70. So the Charger is a 68. Getting a little bit of a history lesson here. So we'll probably have to weld the frame on this. So we're a little bit better, but not completely out of the hole yet. Frame could probably be welded, yep. We'll probably fix this one up a little bit more. So pretty good start. I'm gonna see if we can get her started though. Her started, let's do a compression test. So it does let us do that. So the engine looks like it's in pretty good shape. Let's do an electrical. So yeah, all that's good. I think this thing just probably just needs oil. Oh no, where's the dipstick at? Over on this side. Yep, she just a little oil. Now the oil looks a little nasty. Now even though it's in the crosshatch there, didn't want to start it first because it was low. Probably will drain this out and put some fresh stuff in there. The engine looks in beautiful shape. Might overfilled though, but that's okay. Yeah, so the engine looks, the oil looks a little funky. Just kind of mix it up there with some fresh stuff. It should start now. He starts. Good deal. I don't know, maybe this could use a different color on it. I don't hate it. I definitely don't care for this color. I would not want it that color. Okay, so in the meantime, now we got her running. That's cool. As bad, I guess, as far as that we overpaid. We at least got her running. Now, I think also I've got a 440 built. I do. I got a 446 pack that's ready to go. We can swap that out, I guess, as far as for that that Challenger. We already got that one built, at least as far as that'll. So I think this one did have the 446 pack as well. So we got an engine to be able to swap out of that. We can definitely fix that one up for sure. So we've got options here today. We definitely got some options. Let's continue on though, I guess, as far as with our Vantage. So we did fix up our rims. We did not get those rims for the Vantage fixed up yet. Let's go get those fixed up. And we're gonna need to get two new ones. Definitely want to get some new tires. I don't think I have any 20-inch tires. Okay, so I don't have any tires. That's confirmed. Let's go to the tire shop. Cool, so there's those, and then we need 2 of these puppies. Let's get these put together. So we're gonna get 2 new rims too. Rims definitely cost more than the tires. Oh, smokes. Okay, so we're gonna wait to put those tires on. I guess as far as we're gonna fix up some of the suspension here. Some of these parts we gotta get her lifted up there so we can get the rest of that off. Subframe's still good. Nice. This is another thing that's kind of wild, I guess, as far as the way the game works. So the fact that we took the subframe out, but yet the engine just hovering there. So what we need to do is drain whatever oil it does have in there. Yep, that little oil it had in there was nasty. Holy bolts, this thing's got a lot of bolts on it. Okay, so now we should be able to pull that out. Pull her out. She's out of there. Look at that. Completely empty engine bay now. We'll fix that. Just on the stand. Now again, like I was saying, the very first build I've ever done of this one, it's a V8 twin turbo Aston Martin. So let's start breaking her down. Check it out. Yeah, so very unique build with this. Holy bolts. Good grief. So I'm assuming it has a dual overhead cam type of construction, engineering to it. I wonder if this is how it is in reality. I guess as far as to get those off of there, that's a horrible design. So that is it. That's the block. So let's pull that off. It's in good shape, so we can fix that up. Let's get it over the bench. Ouch, that hurt. We broke the crank. Yeah, we couldn't. Yep, we broke it. That's a bummer. Okay, well, we'll have to put that on the list. We need a new crank now. Okay, let's get the engine block was good. Put that back on there. So our crank is now broken. We're gonna have to get a new one. We broke that one good. So let's go back to this store. New crank. So out of all the parts, that's the only one. Yeah, that happens. So we're gonna need some new pistons and rings. So I almost feel like you would have to do some in the center too, because it's not applying any pressure. Center of the part. I would imagine probably have to go into the center here, I guess, as far as on top of just doing the ones on the outside edge. Had to guess. A Volkswagen. There we go. Nice. I don't know if Aston Martin would take too kindly. Oh, we had one turbo was bad. Very interesting orientation for these here. So I guess these VVLs are the same as like a ignition coil. I have to admit, I guess, as far as I don't know what a VVL is, I want to say it's probably something valve related, if I had to guess. But probably about the same idea as a ignition coil, button up the bottom end. So we didn't have this seal. So I know the seal for the back was bad too. Design of that oil pan. So the fact that it has an oil pump, yet it has this design, I guess, as far as on this end here, kind of doesn't make any sense to me, because really the flywheel is all by itself. So I don't really understand, I guess, as far as why they got there. Now it could be because now it would make more sense to me if where the oil pump is, that this was over on this end. But I'm sure there's probably some balancing engineering going on. So it probably creates this more as like a ballast. Not a ballast, that's not the word I was looking for. But a baffle, I guess, as far as to... So when you're moving it around or whatever, obviously, if the oil goes from one end of the oil pan to the other, you need to have oil still going up into the crankcase as the engine is running. So I would assume that that's not what this serves. This kind of keeps filled up, so as the car is moving around, it's going to have enough in here, and as it sloshes around while it's, you know, being shifted around and such, I guess as far as the pump will pick that up. I'm just thinking out loud, I guess, as far as if I had to guess on this now. Most V8 engine builds that we've worked on, like let's just consider a 350 small block, Chevy small block. That one all completely built. They range anywhere, and depending what type of intake, you know, if you got performance parts on it or whatever, they can be lighter or heavier. Those range right around pretty close to 500 pounds. Pretty close to 500 pounds. So I could imagine this thing here has got to be pushing 700, if I had to guess, just based on the parts that I see in here. Now, I don't know what materials these are made out of. They could be lighter weight materials. But yeah, that's the only comparison that I would have. Wow, we're still going. So we got an intercooler. It does have the turbos on it, so it does make... So I brought this up before in another conversation that my general knowledge, I guess, as far as of turbo-powered engines like this, they always have an intercooler. But it has been mentioned, I guess, as far as not necessarily all turbo engines have intercoolers. So let's make sure we didn't miss anything. I think we're good on the engine. So we're going to leave this on here for a second. Let's get some parts back on the car here. Yeah, I still haven't seen no plugs. I was kind of looking here, but I didn't see them. Oh, yeah, we thought we were done. Nope. So we got an intercooler for each turbo, basically. Wild. Okay, so yeah, we didn't have that. That's a very unique build, indeed. Still not seeing any plugs. So where do we need to look, I guess, as far as for those? So not only does it have crank seal on both ends, it's got also timing covers, I guess, as far as on each end of the cams. Very interesting indeed. I feel like every internal combustion engine has got to have plugs, yeah. Got to have sparks somehow. Freshly machined rotors. Alright, so we're ready for tire. That's the rears, so the 295s are the rear. Almost let me put that on there the wrong way. Would have been goofy. Having the wide tires in the front. Yes, we've got all that done. Let's do some preliminary work in the engine bay. So we need an ABS pump. I don't know if I got one in the warehouse. We'll take that, but I don't have a pump. Fair enough. So we'll have to get a pump. So we had the module, not the pump. Get that. So I think we're pretty much done with the preliminary work here on the engine bay. We're ready to slap this engine in. Yeah. Hey, let's get the engine in here. So let's take this off. Install is 100% green build. Let's get what's button up the bottom end. Don't have these exhaust pipes. That's confirmed. Very unique. Alright, so we're not going to do drive shaft yet because we want to fix up that rear end. Cool. Alright, so we do need an ECU. I'm going to look and see if I do have one in the warehouse. Oh, we do have a performance one. Stage 1, 3-star. Let me check warehouse. That is the only ECU I have, which is I think I just want to put a standard one in there for now. Oh, look at that. So we got these air ducts. Okay, so we don't have these ducts. Okay, there's our ducts and our engine cover, which we didn't have. So radiators. We don't have any radiators. Cool, so that's all complete. The only thing don't know as far as where these plugs, not very hard to see, so I'm wondering if it'd be easier to take some parts off. That's probably what I should ask. Is it possible to put the plugs in without taking other stuff out? Okay, I think I see them. They're right there. Holy smokes, I would have never saw that. Yeah, that would almost seem to be better to put those in there before you put all that stuff on. To me, I feel like you'd almost have to put those in prior to getting all that other stuff in. That's crazy. Yes, that is donkulous design. Yep, I do see them now. So let's get these in there. So we're gonna go to the electronics store. Finally, I guess we finally got it. I think it would be easier. Wait, we got 4 plugs in the warehouse. Let's grab those out of there. All right, so now we know where they're at least. Holy crap, that was crazy. Yeah, we're definitely learning something on this build. That's okay. Let's see if we can select. Now that we know where they're at, we're gonna have to take mental note of that. So for anybody that didn't know, here's where the plugs are, I guess, as far as for the Aston Martin Vantage. So I'm seeing the error of my ways, I guess. So actually, now that I see that now, I guess, as far as it does have a top put on top of that. So I was calling this, I guess, as far as a open air intake design, which it's not. So it's got some duct work, I guess, as far as to feed that air, I guess, as far as into the intake. All right, let's get the exhaust back in there. Yeah, so we didn't necessarily probably have to take all that off there, but I did more or less for clarity. Now our front end should be done. Let's work on our rear end, and that is repairable. Good deal. I always like to step back and just take a look at the car once it's gutted out like that. We're gonna fix that though. Let's get it fixed up. Alrighty then, there we have it. Now let's start to put it back together, I guess, as far as what we can here. So we did get our rear end cross member done with our knuckles. Those are both good. I think that's good for the suspension. Now we just need this rear muffler. So we need a fuel tank. This thing was missing a fuel tank. It's always amazed me, I guess, as far as the fact that you have the exhaust so close to the fuel tank. Just to me, that just seems like an explosion just waiting to happen. Okay, so we do need a fuel pump. Oh, we got 3 of them in the warehouse. White. Oh yeah. Yeah, to me this screams, I guess, as far as like having a you know, like a furnace underneath your fuel. I guess as far as this doesn't seem wait, right, I guess our battery is back here, which we're gonna have to buy one. We're out of batteries in the warehouse. Gotta stock up on those too. Alright, so I think we're ready for tires. Already got those made up previously, so yep, this exhaust is not good. There we go, we got a complete exhaust. I think we are done, I guess, as far as with the build overall. Other than getting her painted. So she needs some fluids in her. Let's get some fluids in her and on her. Perfect, that's adequate. So, okay, so I think we got all the fluids in her. So we're ready to do some tests on this thing here. Alright, there you go. That's all 100%. Good. To the OBD, so we do have ECU and all that on there. So there it is. And of course we do fuel pressure. Look at that. He's good to go. So we've got all the tests done. Everything's good. What are we worth now, just out of curiosity? We are now worth, so we didn't do anything with the interior yet. We should probably do. So 503 is the base horsepower. We should be able to get all of that with based on what we have here. We are now, look at this. This is amazing. All this work we've done on it today. Got it for just under 17,000 at the junkyard. We're now worth 182,000 bucks. That was well worth. So yeah, The other thing we need to do, the default color on this thing, we need to get it painted. Cover up all these new body panels. Actually, we'll give her a bath first, then we'll give her a bath, clean up all the dust, because we've been working on her all this time. So now we can go to the paint booth. And let's paint it that factory default color. One color. Let's go this color. Beautiful. Alright, so she's painted. And we don't gain anything, I guess, as far as from painting. Firm. Pretty much the same, I guess, as far as before we painted it. The only downside, I guess, as far as the painting, you spend that money and you don't really gain much value. We need, let's work on this interior, though. So we're missing a seat. And now our interior should be all in the green. Ta-da! The only thing we're not, so 10%, I guess, as far as going to be the license plates on the front and back, which we're not worried about those. So the only thing left to do is get this over to the dyno and see if we get all of our base power. Probably going to need a wheel alignment on it too. Yeah, that was definitely better than gloss. So we didn't put any performance parts onto her, so the base power on this is 503, did we say? To be able to get all of that. I normally would put these types of things up to prediction, but the fact that we didn't do any performance parts to it, should just get the base power. Class B 303, I guess, as far as with all that base power. Sounds pretty good too. Okay, so I think the one thing I want to do next is just get the wheels aligned, check the alignment. Yeah, she's a little out of whack. Let's get her less out of whack. Good deal. That kind of reminds me too about the let's get this back over to lift A for a second. The RX3 that we fixed up all the suspension parts too. Probably need to get the alignment done on that. I can do that in the off stream because we did fix all those suspension parts up there. I'm assuming that's going to need alignment too. I think I'll do that in the off stream. So now that we got this one dyno, the only thing left to do is take it out. Oh, look at this. It's got yellow accents in here. That's pretty wild. Check that out. All right, let's get this over to the dyno now we got our dyno. Or the drag strip. Now we got our dyno. That's what I meant. You know I'll do it. All right, let's have some fun with her at the dyno. I need some more practice with this controller anyway. Yeah, let's go try this one out. River. Beautiful. Still working. Oh, this thing's nice. Five speed? Looks like it's at least 5-speed. Oh, he won on us. Oh, he actually slept? We gotta do that one again. Slept her big time. Look at that. We got at least a 12-second car. Easy. No performance parts on this thing at all, mind you. Oh, kind of slipped on the throttle. This thing's smooth. Oh, he did got us again. Did I sleep? Okay, that was a little bit better reaction time. Yeah, I know I can beat this dude. I can beat this dude. Let's do it one more time. Don't even have to steer it. Oh, I've got to shift. I want to beat him just out of spite there. Nope, you got us again. Yeah, we're getting a pretty good reaction time there, but yeah, he's getting us just a little bit. All right, we gotta do it again. We gotta do it again. I feel like maybe it is the flame that's doing it. I don't know. We gotta show him what's up. This thing performs really well, even without the performance parts. Did we get him? Nope. Oh. I didn't feel like I slept that long. That's crazy. Look at how close we were, though. Alright. One more time. Oh, that felt like a really good reaction. And you can go pretty deep into the red line. That reaction felt fantastic. That's what I'm saying. I knew we could do it. Yeah, this is a really fun car. I can just imagine what it's going to be like when once we put some performance parts to her. Yeah, I'm liking this car. This was a hell of a buy. It was definitely worth fixing this one up. But as much as I hate to, folks, we're going to wrap this thing up here. Had a lot of fun working on this Aston Martin Vantage. Definitely glad we purchased that and had to work on this one. AKA Volkswagen, yeah. That's probably what we'll officially call it, I guess, as far as a Volkswagen. Not Volkswagen. It's got a lot of bolts on it, that's for sure. I hope you all do have a marvelous rest of your Monday, and hope to see you all again real soon.